Hello, my name is Wayne Anderson. I am a missionary to Belize, Central America. I want to read you for this true story from the book of Fight On by Dr. Sam Gipp. The title of this is God and Guts. On March 27, 1943, the Japanese had a massive task force of 400 cruisers and 4 destroyers guarding 3 transports on their way to resupply their soldiers in the Aleutians. All that stood between them and their goal was a meager North American fleet of 4 destroyers, one old 1918 light cruiser, and the 13-year-old heavy cruiser Salt Lake City. They met on March 26, 500 miles west of the Aleutians. The outnumbered, outgunned Americans immediately attacked. Shells from the Salt Lake City damaged the Japanese flagship, but the Japanese split their forces to catch the Americans in a pincher and destroyed them. Every Japanese gun sought to destroy the Salt Lake City. She ducked 8 torpedoes while her captain, Bertram Rodgers, chased salvos, steering into the splash of Japanese shells on the assumption they would correct their aim and not hit the same spot twice. At each miss, Captain Rodgers would grin and cry, "Fall 'em again!" But the Japs closed their range. After ducking over 200 shells, one finally bore down through the old ship, exiting below the waterline. Half flooding the engine room, she lost headway. Destroyers laid a smoke screen, but the other ships had to move with the smoke which the wind was blowing toward Japan. Then another shell ripped into her, flooding her port compartments. She slowed again and took a 25-degree list to the port. Salt water seeped into her fuel lines and shut down her engines. Below deck, men stood in frigid water, stuffing their shirts into holes to plug leaks, knowing they were dead if they couldn't restore power. Flooding, listing, dead in the water with the Japanese closing fast, she was obviously doomed. In a desperate attempt to buy time, 3 destroyers broke out of the smoke on a last-ditch torpedo attack. But Rodgers had another trick up his sleeve. He had his radio man send a message in plain English saying the Army bombers had arrived on the scene. Then he fired high explosive shells into the high arch toward the enemy ships. The splashes mimicked bombs being dropped. Japanese anti-aircraft batteries opened fire, shooting holes in the clouds. Japanese Admiral Hoshikaga, fearful of an aerial attack, lost his nerve and broke off the engagement and ran. But Rodgers refused to take credit for the near miraculous saving of his ships. His ship's log credited their survival to the Providence Fight On.